Thank you. I have a small remark. I was not only alone in my co-chairman was Helena Ivanova, representing Russian railroads. The goals of our roundtable were more or less modest, but that does not imply that what we did was also very modest. I am convinced that beginning may be very shy, but future may be big. What we speak about, this roundtable was organized in order to make presentation of the projects of School of Dialogue initiated by Vladimir Yakunin. This was done a year ago at last forum. Within this year we managed to work out a concept of schools of dialogue that has been elaborated with the cooperation of the chair of UNESCO, called Chair UNESCO Philosophy in Dialogue of Culture in the Institute of Philosophy of the Russian Academy of Sciences. So from the concept we went to consultations with experts, and next stage was brainstorming session in headquarters of UNESCO, where 16 experts of different fields were interested in this area, and this was organized by Katerina Stinu, and from our side 16 teachers have come out of Russian railroad schools. Vladimir Ivanovich advanced the idea to make a pilot project in RZD schools, and RZD became the basis for the schooling curriculum. And they covered actually 40 corners of our country. Next stage was the course for teacher retraining. Whatever qualification the teacher has to get retraining. The civilizations that are the major actors of today's world. And we wanted to get a sort of a qualified support on behalf of professors, scholars, researchers in this specific field. In the end of May, the whole week was dedicated to courses, training courses for the 40 teachers who came from 16 different railroads, Russian railroads. 2 of them are present in this hall. So you can imagine one school is 300 kilometers from Krasnoyarsk, another is 300 kilometers from Irkutsk. So these teachers really carry knowledge to their pupils. Our task was to tell you about it. We did know how many we would have. We had about 50 participants at our section, representing all the regions. China, India, Europe was presented, elements of culture, elements of different schooling traditions, and different schools of dialogue. We discussed the questions of further development of this project, what would be its course, how it should look, what would be the methodics of training, and a big number of people came to greet us. They became participants, and they participated in our work and helped us a lot. And the result of this discussion, we came to a conclusion. First, establishment of the curriculum should make a balanced attention to the specificities of universities and schools on the secondary level. Eric Debret said about that, and other speakers who said that there shouldn't be an over bias on the specific, but we have to look for that. Second, intercultural education should be assisting the children by learning your own culture. In this connection, learning this was very important. Karina Delian spoke about it, as Valentina Fedotova from Philosophy Institute. They paid attention that our interest in the Chinese civilization, in showing these objects, they should lead, that the children would forget about what Russia is and what is their culture important in. To fan the useful experience of Russian schools, and presentations that were made by the teachers already mentioned above, they were rather interesting. Tatiana Romanova from Irkutsk and Krasnoyarsk region, Jan Melnikov from Irkutsk. They were so powerful. There were PowerPoint presentations, films. Olga Savinova, Novgorod professor, and Irina Balashko, director of Moscow School, one of the best in the central region of Moscow, to the need of propagating this sort of experience. And moreover, it should be given for cooperation in this field of schools of RGD with other schools, for cooperation with international university megatrend in Vienna. This was the wish. Johannes Merck said it. Because polycultural education is very close to our ideas. We practiced this for more than 15 years. We have our manuals and final. We want to establish an international network of schools of dialogue similar to the chair of UNESCO. Walter Schwimmer made this proposal. It's a wonderful proposal, and today in his speech he also mentioned it and included into a resolution that might be adopted by the group. So we are grateful for his help and think that next year, maybe me, maybe some other people, we could implement this project and would be a successful one. And our hope is that we would be assisted in this project by the young people for Russian schools of other countries. Thank you.
Тему современного образования